Hold on, my dog wants to jump up onto the couch, but he can't because... Okay, come on. This is Cooper. Cooper is going to be in many episodes, I'm assuming. But he loves to be with me, right? Hey? We're not doing any roughhousing right now. This is a serious time. Welcome to the first episode of Coffee Chats, where I'm hoping for this segment or series to just be like a really chill, unedited, just like, let's chat while we drink our coffee, while we get ready in the morning, whatever it may be. And not worry too much about perfection, because I feel like there's too much perfection on social media right now. I'm trying to figure out what the heck to do with this little microphone, because it sounds better when I'm using the microphone, but I don't know where to put it. Like, I feel like when I put it on my shirt, it is like sounds muffled, but when I hold it, it sounds good. I don't know. I'm playing with it. But anyways, grab your coffee. I'm drinking a protein iced coffee. I have a video about it on my page. So feel free to go and watch that video. But grab your coffee or tea or water or juice or whatever it is that you want to drink, and let's chat for a little bit. Welcome back. Would you like to sit and stay a while? For this first episode, I feel like you guys don't know that much about me unless you followed me on Instagram for a long time. So today's episode is going to mostly just be, I'm just going to chat about me and my life a little bit and just kind of see where conversation takes us to. By the way, I have self-diagnosed myself with misophonia. If you also have the same, you will understand why I do not want to listen to anyone chugging their iced coffee or chewing something or breathing. So if I am doing too much of that, please tell me, because I will address it. But I will not drink my iced coffee in the mic. Just so you're aware. But anyways, okay, so first thing about me, I am married and I have a dog. You guys just met him. His name is Cooper. He's a beagle coonhound, right? He's a red coat beagle and a blue tick coonhound. So he is a hunting dog. Do either my husband or I hunt? No, we don't. So he just kind of, but we love him. He kind of fell into our lap 2 years ago and has lived with us ever since. And he's 2.5. My husband and I have been married for a little over 2.5 years. And we just moved in. I shouldn't say we just moved into this house. We moved into this house a year ago at the beginning of June. So we're still very much in the process of making this house a home. And hopefully within a very short amount of time, I have been wanting to do this for a few months now. And being someone that works multiple jobs, which I'll talk about in a second, I just don't have a lot of time to do things around the house that I want to. And so this room is going to be painted. I will show it to you. I will take you along on the whole process with me when we do it. But the wall that our TV is on is going to be a dark green color, and the rest of the walls are going to be an off-white, like beige taupe. I don't know my colors. It's not white, but it's not brown. But yeah, so we're just kind of in the process of like figuring out, first of all, how long we want to live here, and is it worth it to do all the big projects? So in our living room, we have hardwood floor, original hardwood floor, and we're trying to decide if it's worth it to redo it because I love original hardwood floor and I would love to just kind of fill it in and restain it and wax it. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So we just, anyone who's a house owner, you understand that there's always going to be little things that you want to do, but you're wondering whether or not it's worth it to do it, unless you're planning to live in your house forever, which we aren't. Chances are we won't live here longer than another 5 years, maybe. Who knows? It might be sooner, might be later. Who knows? But yeah, definitely lots of little projects that we want to do. But between working multiple jobs for me, I am a certified athletic therapist and postnatal fitness specialist, and I own a business. I'm almost dropping my iced coffee. This is harder with one hand than I thought it was going to be. But anyways, so I am a certified athletic therapist and postnatal fitness specialist, and I treat a couple days a week at an office, and I do a lot of social media stuff with my business as well. My goal with my business is essentially to bring awareness to all the things that women deal with on a regular basis and how they can overcome some of those complications or some of those dysfunctions, and who to contact to help, and tips and tricks and things like that. And so I have really started to dive more into social media because I feel like it's a really useful tool to reach more people with correct information and support, instead of just like scare tactics and lose your baby fat in 6 weeks. Like I want things to be realistic and supportive and encouraging. So that's job number 1. Job number 2, I am a supervisor at Starbucks. Hence the iced coffee I talked about in my last video that I posted. That's where I get my iced coffee from, is from Starbucks, like the cold brew itself. But I'm a supervisor at Starbucks, and I'm there like 3 to 4 days a week. And so that keeps me very busy. Between treating 2 days a week, working at Starbucks 3 to 4 days a week, and then also content creation and being a wife and a family member and a friend and a dog mom, there's a lot going on. So I don't find myself like sitting down and relaxing for long periods of time whatsoever. And over the last, I would say, few months, I've really tried to get better at that and just be okay with sitting and doing nothing. I have not had the opportunity to have every single weekend off, and I have never had that opportunity since I was 15 years old, when I started working at McDonald's when I was in high school. I have always been a very active person in my extracurriculars and in my sports and in my activity and in my friends' lives and things like that. So I have never had like set days off, which can be very frustrating. And being a business owner, for those of you who are entrepreneurs, you'll understand that anytime you have time off, it almost feels like a waste of time if you're not doing anything. And not only that, but being an entrepreneur, there's so much that needs to be done or can be done for your business that, like, I feel like it's just time wasted if I'm not doing anything. But when it comes to things like content creation, creating Instagram posts, coming up with ideas for videos or reels or things like that, I actually really enjoy that. And so I'll typically do that while I'm watching TV, while I'm just like chilling out on the couch, and it doesn't feel like work to me. But I'm trying to be more conscious of specifically taking time off and not doing anything work related, which is really hard. It's really, really hard for me, but we're working at it. There's always things that we need to work on in ourselves, and we are working at that. Side note, if you haven't tried Canadian protein iced coffee, go watch my video and make it for yourself because it is dang delicious. Between me working those two jobs, I also do lots of little things on the side. My husband is on call every third weekend, so we also don't spend a whole lot of time together. And you know, it's the way life is right now, but that's when it's really important to find the little things in your day. So for example, I typically work at Starbucks. I typically work until 10 o'clock at night. That's my shift. And I come home, we go for a walk with our dog together. That's our time together. We will tidy up the house really quick, just like any little, like we'll tidy up the kitchen, especially the living room. We'll just like tidy up just like 15 minutes. And that is our kind of nighttime routine together. And then in the mornings, I make him coffee. And those are pretty much the 2 times of the day that I get to see my husband on a regular basis, which is not much, but we make it work. And it's not forever. I know it's not forever, but that's what it is right now. So aside from me working 2 jobs, my husband is on call once every 3 weeks. So we don't see each other a ton. I can talk about in a future video, I can talk about how we kind of make things work in our relationship and how we make things work around the house when neither of us are home at the same time. Like very rarely we're home at the same time. At least for long periods of time. We're basically home to sleep at the same time, and then we go our separate ways and we see each other again at 10 o'clock at night. But we do have lots of strategies that we use to keep our house pretty tidy and to also just like keep our marriage, what's the word I'm looking for? Like enhanced or interesting, and strong. But also I should also mention, this is an important part, that my husband and I did long distance for the 4 years that I was completing my degree. And we developed some pretty great communication skills during those 4 years. And it is very easy for us to communicate with each other, whether we are having a crap day or we need some support for something, or we just need to talk to each other about something or apologize. Like our communication is very good. And I'm very thankful for that distance that we had that definitely created that strength in our relationship for sure. Okay, in my downtime, I am reading a book called 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think. And I cannot recommend this book more to anyone who is in any part of their life that they are feeling a little bit lost or trying to figure out their next steps, or even just like trying to learn more about yourself. I read one a day. So there's 101 essays in here and I read one a day. That's a lie. I read one every time I read one. Like if I sit down to read, I read one and then I kind of ponder about it. This is a book that has notes in it. I write in this book all the time. It is actually covered in coffee because I bring it to work with me all the time. It's a lived in book, that's for sure. But I love being able to look back at the things that I've highlighted and the things that I have read about and the things that resonated to me at that moment. Because let's be real, none of us go through every single day feeling the same. Like every other day, I feel like I'm feeling at my entire life. And the next day, I feel like I'm doing amazing and I'm succeeding. And that's just the reality of life. Like no one goes through life feeling exactly the same all the time. And so I love being able to read back in this book and read the things that I thought were important for me to highlight. Oh, this one's good. So healing is really just letting yourself feel. That's a good one. Okay, what else do you want to know about me? To keep myself active, I go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. Right now I'm at about 2 to 3 times a week, just because I'm kind of in a busier season of life at the moment, especially with just the way summer is. I tend to prioritize going for long walks outside rather than um going into the gym. I feel like I do what I feel I want to at that moment and what's going to make me feel the best, and it's often going for a walk outside. So, I definitely prioritize that. But I do try to get in some strength training at least 2 times a week. And a leg day and an arm day is like what I mainly prioritize. If I get there 3 to 4 times a week, that's great. I'll target some other muscle areas or muscle groups, but that is my main mode of activity right now. I used to play volleyball on a regular basis. I played travel volleyball throughout high school, and I played volleyball in college, and in my last year of college I played varsity, which was really fun. And then I graduated just before COVID, so any and all volleyball programs were just kind of on the fritz, and now they're just kind of getting up and running again, but I just don't have the time. Like I can't commit to one solid night a week because I don't have a set schedule at Starbucks. Like I don't work the same day every week, so I can't guarantee that I can ever actually make it. But within the next couple years, I really hope to make it again. I'm a plant lady. I'm not great at it. I kill a lot of plants, but I have this plant corner in my living room that you guys have seen. I think it was in my first video. I filmed in front of it. And it's slowly growing, no pun intended. Like I add plants to it all the time. But I also take a lot of plants away from it all the time because I kill them. Like I'm not good. Okay, listen. I have 2 jobs, and plants are not my first priority in making sure that I water them on time. And I wish that it was because I love them so much, but when it comes down to it, it's just a plant. And like there are more important things in my life that I need to take care of on a regular basis. So plants kind of go on the back burner. I would be very sad if some of these plants died because I have had them for years. But this is just kind of where we are right now. And being a first-time home buyer and not being someone who has a lot of extra money, it's kind of fun to like watch your spaces come together. And I feel like I appreciate it a lot more too when I've been waiting so long for a piece of furniture that fits well in our space and we finally get it. And I feel like I fall in love with it that much more rather than just going to a store, picking it out and bringing it home. These couches we bought on our 2nd anniversary, and we drove on our 2nd anniversary. We had dinner plans and we ended up finding these on Marketplace, and the lady's like, we're trying to get rid of them like right now. And it was like an hour away, so we had to go pick up my husband's work van and go all the way to pick up these couches. And then by the time we brought the couches home, it was like 8:30, or maybe it was like 9 o'clock, and we still hadn't had dinner yet. And my husband does not like sushi, but he knows that I like sushi, and he recommended or asked if I wanted to go for sushi. And how am I going to say no? Absolutely, I want to go get sushi. And so we went and got sushi at 9 o'clock at night for dinner on our anniversary, for our anniversary dinner, because we had just bought couches. This is what a lot of our relationship is like. It's just kind of like we'll make plans to do something and then that doesn't work out or something else happens and we're just like, well, I guess we'll do that later. It's the same with like when our friends are hanging out and neither of us are busy, like especially because we work so much. If we aren't busy and our friends are doing something or our family is doing something, we want to be able to be there. So we will put our date to the side or our time together to the side because we don't get to spend a lot of time with friends and family otherwise because we're always busy working. So, yeah, there's a lot of flexibility in our relationship, but I think we've just kind of learned that over the years because we are so busy. I know there's going to be some of you that laugh at me for doing that, but I'm telling you, when I am watching a video and I'm hearing someone, like, I'm hearing their mouth noises, ugh, so gross. I have self-diagnosed myself with misophonia. I don't know if it's an actual diagnosis. I don't even know if it's an actual disorder, but I'm pretty confident that I have it. Like years ago, when I would be eating dinner with my family before we got married and I was living at home, I it would make me physically angry to hear people chewing beside me. And I don't know if that was just like I needed a change of scenery and I needed to not live at my parents' house anymore, which like I didn't want to be living at my parents' house anymore. But anyone like at church, if someone was sitting behind me breathing or like chewing something, I remember there was a girl in my class at school who would eat carrots like every single day in class. And I'm like, why do you have to be eating carrots at this moment in time? And yeah, and that's just something I've like had to learn to deal with. And I just ended up getting like sensory overload from it. Sometimes I would have to leave the room, just like drive me nuts. But those of you who are dealing with the same thing will understand like it makes you physically angry and like it could be someone on the complete other side of the room that's chewing something and I cannot focus on one single thing aside from that person that's chewing. Like there's got to be some of you, there has to be some of you that feel the same way. I have never like actually looked into what it is and why it happens and like if I can even get diagnosed or like what a diagnosis would even entail. I don't think it's that important for me to even seek out a diagnosis, but I have self-diagnosed and I am living with misophonia. If you are as well, comment below and let me know. Let's connect. Let's talk about the things that bother us when people are making noises. So that is probably going to be the conclusion of this video. If I think of more things to tell you guys about myself, we'll talk about it in the next coffee chats. I'm not going to always do them just like this. I'll probably do some of them like getting ready or I don't know, make like cooking, like just like chatting with you guys while I'm cooking. Haven't decided yet. I hope for this segment to just be like chill where we can talk to each other and get to know each other on just like a really chill basis. Like I purposely didn't do my hair or makeup today so that I am just like connecting with you guys more instead of like trying to put on a face, if that makes sense. I just feel like the internet just has so much perfection all the time and everyone is like always dressed perfectly and their hair and makeup is always done perfectly and like videos are perfectly curated and like it doesn't need to be that way. So that's what this segment is for, is just to like chill out and chat and not worry about perfection because none of us are perfect. Let's be real. We all suffer from misophonia. I think I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope it's a little more sunny than it is here today. When you watch this video, it's very gloomy and rainy, which is fine. I like gloomy and rainy days, but I also love the sunshine, especially in the summer. But anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys soon.